I'm Ginger Cruz, I'm running for Congress, and I approve this ad.
KUAM TV8, first on Guam.
KUAM News headlines are presented by Calvo's Insurance, protecting Micronesia for 85 years. Matson and the Adahi Itano program. Apply at Matson.com. New Jeep Gladiators up to $7,000 off now at Cars Plus. Named the best vehicle for adventure in 2024. Get your Jeep Gladiator today at Cars Plus. McDonald's of Guam, I'm loving it. And King's Restaurant, serving your local breakfast, lunch, and dinner favorites for over 45 years.
Ahead on KUAM News Primetime.
More arrests are made in connection to the violent threats targeting local schools. Plus, the Guam Education Board discusses the financial shortfalls of GovGuam's largest agency as the new fiscal year begins.
The pain is just enormous.
And a buzzkill in more ways than one. Authorities say beware of those invasive hornets as they pack a painful sting. And Mitsuki Hirayama with part 2 on the plight of the honeybees.
Half a day and good evening. Welcome to KUAM News Primetime. I'm Nick Delgado.
And I'm Destiny Cruz. Thanks so much for making us a part of your day.
Well, Des, 2 children are taken into custody in connection to the threats made against local schools.
Both are 12-year-old boys who are each facing charges of terroristic conduct and destruction of evidence. Detectives with the Guam Police Department's Juvenile Investigation Section locating both boys on Monday. Police say one child allegedly posted on social media that he wanted to quote-unquote shoot up Beneventi Middle School. The other child allegedly posted online that he wanted to cause quote, mass harm to students at FBLG Middle School. The pair are being held at the Department of Youth Affairs.
Guam Police spokesperson Officer Paul Tapao reminding parents to speak with your children about positive decision-making skills and monitor what your child is viewing or even posting online. As KUM reported, a 16-year-old was arrested on similar charges in connection to the threats made last week towards John F. Kennedy High campus. The Guam Department of Education is before lawmakers tonight for an oversight hearing. This as the agency is having to pinch pennies amid a shortfall in its fiscal year 2025 budget.
And while the Guam Education Board hopes to secure additional funding to stay afloat, some officials aren't too optimistic they'll be able to get the extra cash.
As the new fiscal year begins today, the Guam Department of Education faces tough choices on how to manage its FY 2025 budget of $256 million, with needs already exceeding available funds.
After $5.6 million for power is expended and lights go out,
the department working with $47 million less than it requested from the legislature, resulting in major shortfalls in supplies and materials.
I don't know how we're going to get schools prepared for FY26 if we only have $25,000 to spend.
On Monday, the Guam Education Board holding a special meeting with discussions centering on requesting supplemental funding. GEB Chair Dr. Mary Okada on where the additional money would go.
Of this $47 million, $10 million is specifically identified for facility maintenance and capital projects that include safety and security.
But amid competing requests also before the legislature, and despite attempts to secure funding for facilities and maintenance and safety, GEB Vice Chair Angel Sablan acknowledging that GDOE is unlikely to get the whole of its additional funding request. Sablan also requested an update from GDOE's financial team on lapse funding and the status of American Rescue Plan funds. To note, Monday was the last day to obligate ARP funds. GDOE says it plans to request to extend its liquidation period for any obligated ARP funds to March 2026.
And in other news, it's unclear how much closer police are to catching the suspects involved in 2 recent homicides. The homicide investigations unfolding separately last month in Dededo and in Jigo.
Guam Police Chief Stephen Ignacio remains mum on the case, only sharing that his investigators are still working to solve it.
We have not identified, publicly identified any of the victims. Again, to the media or anybody because they're still actively under investigation. As far as any connection to either of the deaths, we have not established any direct connections between the deaths, and they're all being treated separately as homicide investigations.
As KUAM reported, one man's body was found inside a burning home along Chalan Carreta in Dededo. Days later, the body of another man was found inside a home on Chalan Dotni Street in Jigo. Though not much information is being released, authorities continue to ask the public for assistance. Well, a man gets 10 years in prison after admitting to molesting a young girl he knows. Defendant Benjamin Narita pleading guilty to criminal sexual conduct charges before Superior Court Judge Vernon Perez today. As KUAM reported, the victim telling officers then that the abuse started in March of 2020 at the beginning of the pandemic lockdown. The case unfolding in 2022. Narita was given credit for the time he already served in prison.
A man is under arrest accused of setting a dumpster and car on fire at the American Medical Center in Manilao. 24-year-old Rafini Jico is charged with 3 counts of arson. Court documents state the alleged incident occurred Friday night. Jico allegedly admitted to police that he did it for fun after he had been drinking.
2 months later, the family of an inmate who died while in the Department of Corrections custody still wanting answers.
Jonah Gincharfaris reports.
2 months too long. 2 months since our dad's passing, and almost 2 months since the autopsy has been performed. Even if it was natural causes, we want to know. Family members frustrated with no information being provided to them on the death of their loved one at the Department of Corrections prison. It was earlier in September, KUAM reached out to DOC Director Fred Bordallo Jr. for comment, who said that they're awaiting the autopsy report by the Chief Medical Examiner for cause of death. During the September 17th oversight hearing, when Public Safety Chair Senator Chris Barnett pressed Bordallo for information,
we have another continuing death in custody that we're awaiting the medical examiner's autopsy, so we can't provide any answers to family members until that autopsy comes back.
With the CME on island recently, we followed up with Bordallo on Monday for an update on the case. He only said, quote, no status yet on Chief Medical Examiner. As KUAM reported, it was on the morning of July 29th when the 55-year-old male detainee was taken to Naval Hospital and pronounced dead shortly after. It was only after he passed that the family received a call from DOC to say that he was found unconscious and taken to the hospital. Barnett asking Bordallo to elaborate as to why the family is not notified immediately when a loved one is transported to the hospital. Bordallo claiming it can become a security situation.
Because it's an emotional thing, Senator, family members, of course, when they hear their loved one, of course, it's very stressful enough that their loved one is here, incarcerated here, and then they'll just think they want to, and it's in our culture that we want to be with our family member, right? And sometimes that can get, it can get a little bit out of control without any security people being there, not expecting that, and then of course, we don't want that to happen. So that's why a lot of our protocol is just to limit the contact with the Guam Police Department, with the doctor who's there, and then determine who would be called so that they can ensure that it doesn't get out of control.
It was during the oversight hearing Major Mary Helen Lozama provided comment as well.
When the inmates or the prisoners submit their visitation lists, sometimes they don't include all the family members and also their next of kin. They're not the ones calling about the one that passed away. It's the other people who are claiming they're the child, or they're the, that's their father that passed away. However, we cannot really determine it because the prisoner did not put out their visitation lists, and it hasn't been approved.
Circumstances surrounding the death remain unclear. Family members hearing that he was found unresponsive in his post when he missed roll call, while another story surfaced from an inmate in the same post who claims the man collapsed while cleaning the dome. For closure. Jonah Gincharfaris, KUAM News.
Well, October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month in Northern Marianas.
Regional correspondent Tomas Manglotna reports on the movement encouraging early detection, as that diagnosis is the most common among CNMI adults.
Breast cancer continues to be the leading cancer diagnosis among adults in the Northern Marianas.
Between 2007 and 2021, 81% of cancer diagnosis was diagnosed at stage 3 or higher. This alarming statistic points to a significant delay in early detection and highlights critical issues we must address.
The Commonwealth Cancer Association bringing the government and community together to raise awareness as October is declared Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Wendy Lynn Escota, a breast cancer survivor who was diagnosed 4 years ago, shared her inspiring journey as a working mom.
And here I am today. I finished my bachelor's degree after getting my surgery. I saw my son graduate high school, join the National Guard, and I got promoted as a general manager at Mariana's Eye Institute. Lastly,
nurse practitioner Summer Ackley shared her perspective working at the hospital's oncology center.
In my experience at the clinic, I have often found that fear is one of the barriers to diagnosing breast cancer. Some women are fearful of mammogram screening because they worry about pain, possible discomfort, embarrassment, or having confirmation that the thing they are most afraid of is indeed breast cancer. The thing they are most afraid of is indeed breast cancer. And while we can help all women who develop breast cancer, it is so important to find it early so we can help even more and provide a cure for treatment.
CNMI Governor Arnold Palacios echoed that message.
Palacios noting, however, the legislature line items vetoes, including a subsection that the CNMI Medical Referral Program and Health Network Program includes stipends, airfare, and lodging for patients and escorts.
More conveniently located experts to speak with, and now even more. Like more cash. Because when you open an eligible checking account online, you can earn up to $400 in cash. So for the checking account that gives you more, open an account online at the bank that gives you more. Bank of Hawaii.
Island Cancer Center has the only state-of-the-art Halcyon Linear Accelerator, providing radiation treatments in the Asia-Pacific region. We are excited to be back up and running after Typhoon Mawar. We have been providing the highest quality patient-centered care for 14 years and will continue to do so. Why? Because we love what we do. Island Cancer Center, our family treating your family. Visit us at islandcancercenter.com or call 671-646-3363.
In times of uncertainty, trust is what leads the way. The Medical City, your trusted partner in health.
The presidential candidates are weighing in on the devastation caused by Helene. Vice President Harris meeting with FEMA leaders in Washington, D.C., while former President Trump traveled to Georgia to survey the damage.
NBC's Bree Jackson has details from Washington.
All eyes on the devastation left by Hurricane Helene as cleanup efforts get underway. President Biden vows to visit damaged areas later this week.
We're not leaving until the job is done.
Vice President Harris cutting her campaigning out west short to meet with FEMA.
Everyone here has been working around the clock.
And is pledging resources to those impacted.
We will do everything in our power to help communities respond and recover.
The deadly storm tore through several battleground states, including Georgia. While touring one of the hardest hit communities there, former President Trump blasted the federal response.
They have to be focused over here. It's too big. This is a really bad one.
Both candidates seeking to demonstrate leadership against the backdrop of a tight race. This new NBC News CNBC Telemundo national poll shows Trump gaining ground with Latino voters. Harris holds a 14-point advantage, but that's the lowest lead for Democrats in the past 4 presidential cycles.
I love what Donald Trump did for us as an economy while he was in presidency.
He wants to represent the macho man and stuff. Me personal, I like Kamala Harris, like I said, because the way she is.
With 5 weeks until Election Day, the focus turns to the vice presidential nominees. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz and U.S. Senator J.D. Vance face off on Tuesday in what is likely to be the final chance for both campaigns to make their case on the debate stage. In Washington, Bree Jackson, NBC News.
And the vice presidential candidates will debate Wednesday morning, tomorrow Standard Time. You can watch as Senator J.D. Vance and Governor Tim Walz square off for the first time and only time in the vice presidential debate hosted by CBS News. Watch the debate tomorrow, October 2nd on KUAM TV 8 and streaming on Peacock at 10 a.m. local time.
And the race to watch here at home is between incumbent Delegate James Moylan and opponent Ginger Cruz. We are now less than 1 week away from the candidates taking the stage in their first debate this election season. The KUAM News 2024 congressional debate set for Monday, October 7th. We will be coming to you live from the Encore Theater inside the Crown Plaza Resort in Tumon. You can watch the debate Monday, October 7th at 6:30 p.m. following primetime on KUAM TV 8 and streaming on KUAM's Facebook page, YouTube channel, and on Peacock.
Appearing tomorrow on The Hub, we have 5 senatorial candidates scheduled to answer questions in our KUAM studios. Under the Republican ticket is newcomer Vincent Borja, and in the Democrat race, we've got newcomers Angela Santos and David Crisostomo, along with incumbents Dwayne Nicholas and Joe San Augustine. Hear what these 5 senatorial candidates have to say as they each take questions from you, the voters. The Hub airs every Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. following primetime. Well, more on that invasive hornet story we brought you yesterday. The greater banded hornet is not just a threat to the honeybees. Agriculture Biosecurity Division saying beware of these pests as their sting are unbelievably painful. Mitsuki Hirayama with what you need to know.
These hornets on the hunt for honeybees are a buzzkill in more ways than one. Agriculture's Biosecurity Division warning the community to beware of the greater banded hornet as its sting can be unbelievably painful.
These hornets do give a powerful sting, injecting a lot of venom, and they sting multiple times. So that's the danger in these hornets.
State entomologist Chris Rosario says their long stingers can pierce clothes and even a beekeeper's suit.
And you're not just dealing with one hornet, but probably thousands of hornets that will swarm around you.
Rosario and his colleague catching 2 hornets during the interview with KUAM at local beekeeper Jen Nelson's apiary in Ipan, Talofofo.
We're coming twice a day. We're coming in the morning and the afternoon to check on the hives and kill any hornets that we can find. And it's a temporary solution. The real solution is finding a hornet's nest and killing the hornets at the source.
The hornet is an aggressive species of wasps not native to Guam. It was first discovered on Island in 2016 inside a rotting avocado tree in a backyard in Tumon. Efforts are now concentrated on control and management.
The more hornet nests that we do kill, the more colonies, more bee colonies that we'll save, especially the managed bee colonies, because the local beekeepers are the one that's putting our local honey out in the markets.
Rosario says the USDA funded Guam about $97,000 to hire a technician to come out and collect samples of the hornets. He adds the government of Guam is hiring an invasive species coordinator to update the Guam invasive species management plan. Meantime, for anyone who sees a nest like this,
you just call the pest hotline 475-7378 or 475-PEST.
Mitsuki Hirayama, KUAM News.
The Guam State Historic Preservation Office holding a solemn reinterment ceremony at Marine Corps Base Camp Laws over the weekend. During the ritual, the skeletal remains of ancient chamorros were reburied, wrapped in muslin cloth, and placed in a woven basket. Camp Laws spokesperson Major Deanne Rosenfeld says it was during the construction of the urban training complex that archaeologists discovered 5 sites, each with at least 1 burial dating to the Lati period. She adds all chamorro burials at Mokfok were preserved in place, and construction projects were redesigned to avoid burial sites. At the site of the reinterment ceremony, archaeologists discovered 14 unique grave pits, which include at least 1 infant and multiple children, adolescents, and adults.
Members of a one-of-a-kind island institution gathering this weekend for an extra special mass and brunch.
Jason Salas has more on the celebration held for the Diamond Jubilee of the Academy of Our Lady of Guam, marking 75 years of Catholic education and producing amazing Guam women.
For 7.5 decades, the Academy of Our Lady of Guam has been providing young island women with a proper education, enforcing the foundations of the Catholic faith, rigid academics, and service to community. But above all, and lasting for all time, sisterhood.
We have had over 6,000 go through our quotas, 5,590 graduates.
It's really a legacy of empowering women to lead, be excellent, be stewards of the community, and to give back to this place that we call home. And it's really a very special time. You see grandmothers and mothers and their children, their daughters who are going to school here, and it's really a blessing.
Not just classmates, theirs is a bond that's unbreakable.
The fact that through the decades, we keep track of each other. Our alum, they come back to the school. We always invite them back to the school for tours. They send their children and their grandchildren. So that sisterhood for 75 years has been going.
Graduation is just the beginning of going into the world and being Christ-centered and really trying to be lifelong learners and make that impact into our community.
And even graduates that turned the tassel decades ago still feel the special kinship whenever they see Academy students walking around the island in their signature blue and gray uniforms. It evokes a pride that's unique to them.
Oh, it makes me feel wonderful, the memories. Wherever you go in the world, not just Guam, as soon as you find out the person next to you is Academy grad, no matter what year, what decade, you guys click and you automatically help each other on the plane or anywhere. Well, we help people all the time. It's so special with the sisters.
And carrying on the responsibility of sharing Cougar pride, every Academy girl was happy to sound off, representing their class.
1968. We're proud of that. 72. 80. 73. 62. 68. 71. Class of 96. 25.
Okay. There's a rumor going around that 89 was the biggest class ever.
I think so. Right, that's right.
67?
67.
Only the class of 80 can think of something like this.
So here we have the graduates from the class of 1953. Half a day. Congratulations, ladies.
Now for a look at your world at home.
Here's a look at the pogo berries up in the hills of Santa Rita. Very nice.
Very.
I'm Ginger Cruz, and I'm running for Congress with a plan. You can read it at gingercruz.com. Jim Moylan has no plan. You need to call his office. He lost $300 million in compact impact money. He let his good friend in Congress kill compensation for Guam's radiation survivors, and he takes credit for money defense is giving to Guam with or without him. Guam faces real threats and a crushing cost of living, and Washington, that's where we go to solve the problems if you understand how. Congress is tough. You have to engage with members, know what you're talking about, be convincing, and move Guam's issues. From my start in the Guam legislature in the 80s, to the Ada and Gutierrez administrations, to the highest levels of the federal government, this has been my life's work. I even taught it at UOG. A lifetime of experience means I'm ready to work for you on day one. I'm Ginger Cruz. I approve this message, and I humbly ask for your vote.
Something is calling, and I can't help it. Let's not belong when there ain't no soul.
Our women's national rugby team took gold in Thailand recently and now head to Nepal for a rematch against the Philippines that our girls cannot wait for. Our squad is stacked with all-stars and experience, and they've been together a long time. They're as locked in can be. But champs just aren't about 24/7 intensity. There's self-awareness and enjoying the process. So two captains and Island sports legends, Olivia Elliott and Paige Serber, shared how their senior leadership and infectious laughter has gotten our team where they need to be to get the victory.
Between the two of you, right, as senior leadership, who's the more emotional one?
I feel like both of us can be.
I feel like
Liv. I think it's Liv.
For sure.
Liv gets very emotional. Like anything that's sentimental, she'll cry.
But even on the field too, like I feel like I get the most emotion. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll ground her. Like I'll be like, get it together.
Yeah.
We're
Okay,
fine.
who curses the most?
Me.
Paige.
Me.
I don't want to test that theory, but I'll take your word on it.
No.
Okay. Who's the best cook?
Me.
Liv.
What's your best pregame meal?
Oh, pregame meal. Safal.
Yeah.
I'm going to take you up on that one of these days.
Okay. No, she's really a good cook.
Who gives the best speeches motivational?
I would have to say 50-50. Like,
yeah, 50-50.
When I need someone and I need to be back in check and out of my head, like I know I can turn to Liv for that and vice
she's
versa.
harsh. Like she will tell us.
Yeah,
like,
I would tell it blunt. Like there's no sugarcoating, nothing. Like if you want the realness, I'm over here. But if you want like a little bit soft, a softer edge, hit up Liv.
So your brutal honesty and your mama duck.
Yeah.
Who's got more Instagram followers between the two of you?
Oh, Paige. I don't add everyone.
Hey, I don't add everyone. My stuff's on private still.
I don't.
Oh, for real?
Yes,
Okay.
it has to be to mutual. Like I know them through someone or.
There you go.
Yes.
So, that's why you're both brilliant. So is there a theme or is there a rallying cry that you're using to really get all the girls together?
I think this is from Coach. Like, fire the shots. Like, be creative. Fire the shots. Just go for it. I think that's our theme. Yeah.
Go hard,
tour.
go home. Yeah.
Yeah.
This burger looked at one slice of melted cheese and said, more cheese. It looked at pickles and said, also onions. It wanted to be more than hot. It wanted to be juicy. This is the Quarter Pounder with cheese. If you thought one napkin for the Quarter Pounder with cheese was enough, it's not enough.
Don't need a work break, keep the smile on your face. The moments you can't replace, and I'll be around. Whoa. You can count on me. You can count on me for life.
Wherever life takes you, we're always here for you. Calvo's Insurance. Count on us for life.
Vince Borja is a great candidate for senator. He's an MBA, a retired Army officer, an adjunct professor, and an entrepreneur. Vince is a leader who will use education to help our island combat poverty and drugs. It's time to change the majority of the legislature. It's time for positive change. It's time to bring back values. It's time for leaders like Vince Borja. So please vote Vince Borja for senator. No nonsense, no business.
I'm Vince Borja and I approve this message.
Giving Every Tuesday is brought to you by J. Goodman, a happiness company.
The American Red Cross Guam chapter hosted its 22nd annual Red Ball this past weekend at the Dusitani Resort Guam on Tumon Bay. The gala event was an opportunity for corporate partners, benefactors, and volunteers alike to celebrate the successes the organization has had in rushing to the aid of Guamanians during our times of greatest need. The sold-out event featured notable benefactors from Guam's private sector, the military, and charitable groups, all dedicated to the Red Cross's mission. Attendees were well aware that we're a little more than a year from the most devastating typhoon we've experienced in 2 decades, with memories of the Guam chapter being right there to provide help and hope. Also, light was shined on how our shared spirit of Inafa Maulik allows our local community to be able to help fund relief efforts to other parts of the world, such as communities impacted by Hurricane Helene on the southeast United States. So cheers to all of you who made the night the success that it was, and Sidus Masi to all the volunteers for your tireless commitment to the cause.
Giving Every Tuesday is brought to you by J. Goodman, a happiness company.
Hafa everybody. It is a new month, so that means we have new opportunities to do amazing things both with and for our island community. First off, please make sure that you schedule your Google Calendar for October 25th because it is the 13th annual Breast Cancer Awareness Wave. It takes place on Friday the 25th, starting at 4 in the afternoon over in Tamuning at the ITC intersection. We will be gathering as an island family, showing support for our cancer warriors, survivors, and caregivers, showing everybody how to get our pink on. Please make sure to check it out. Also, you want to head over to the Leo Palace because on October 19th, there is going to be the zombie run. Ooh! Lots of fun things to do, fun for the entire family. Bring some money, bring your smiles. You are going to have a really good time. We got food, we got a haunted house, much more. Face painting from the cosmetology kids over at GCC. They are going to make you look like the best zombie you can, and you are going to help raise money to take care of our island less fortunate. And the Rhoda Small Business Development Center is holding a financing seminar sponsored by the Bank of Guam. Check this out. No-cost training opportunity. Don't just get business financing. Unlock it. Learn how to raise capital for your business. Make sure to register for that. All right. Also, special shout out to all my friends from Teaden High School. Go Titans! I love those school colors.
It's time now for birthday wishes.
Here's your Coach John Creamery Birthday Club shout-out submitted on KUAM.com.
Happy birthday on this October 1st, and vroom vroom, go get him, Speed Racer. Our own speed demon, Eric Cruz, man up in the front. Dude, Eric, one of our brothers. We love the guy. He's super, super cool. Never has a smile, not on his face. Really, really nice guy and a valuable member of our team and a really good member of our motorsports community. So, Eric, we wish you the very best birthday ever. Also, belated birthday wishes going out to Pia Ray Bernardo Cruz, and your shout-out says, and I quote, "Just about 7 years ago, I had you, and look at you now, turning into the most sweetest, but yet the most smartest big girl. We love you." And then the purple heart. Happy 7th birthday to Pia. That's a wonderful sentiment. So Eric and Pia, we wish you both a blessed birthday. Have the best day ever.
Happy birthday to all of you celebrating out there. Happy birthday to KUM's Eric Cruz.
Yeah, Viva Cruz never lose.
It must be a good time to be a Cruz, huh?
Yeah,
You get a birthday.
Always, always.
Also, happy spooky season. It's
Yes.
officially spooky season.
I'm so
October
excited.
1st already.
Already. I'm feeling the spooky vibes already.
Get
Love
your
it.
makeup brushes out, get your costumes ready because Destiny's ready to scare you with the news.
Oh, yeah.
That's your primetime show. Thanks for watching. I'm Nick Delgado.
And I'm Destiny Cruz. Have a great evening and stay beautiful.
Catch Health, Home, and Lifestyle every Tuesday following KUM News Prime Time. We've got you covered with health and lifestyle news each Tuesday on the stations of KUM and our digital streaming platforms. Health, Home, and Lifestyle is brought to you by the Medical City, your trusted partner in health.
House to Home, presented by Remax Diamond Realty.
All right, everybody, Tuesday and House to Home, Liz, Jason, and Gina. Oh, I'm sorry. That's May Campus, the wonderful May Campus. Hello, May.
That's
Long
right.
time. Very good to see you.
Thank you. Likewise.
And you know, May is one of our wonderful real estate agents here on Guam, a true professional, someone who really, really cares about servicing the customer, and someone who also really cares about our wonderful island community. And so May is here because we are talking about what is now become an island institution, a tradition around this time of year, the Zombie Run. So it is back from the Children's Arc.
Yes, thank you. Here's our flyer. We'll make sure we get that to you, Jason. So
I've been
we are
showing that
back.
on the news. I
Yes,
love Zombie Run.
yes. October 19, it's a few weeks away. And this year it's going to be at Leo Palace. So we're super excited about that. We are still definitely working with the Guam Running Club in terms of the race. It is October 19, Saturday, 2K, 5K. We are opening up at 3 p.m. Our festivities will start at 3 p.m. this year, and the race will start at 5 p.m. This year, we will continue to have the pit rock climbing and some of their train rides. And also, I'm super thrilled to announce that we actually have also collaborated with Breaking Wave Theater Company. They're also an amazing local nonprofit, and they're going to be running our haunted house for us this year. So you can just
and
imagine.
those are budding actors, so you know they're gonna bring it.
Yes, we are so stoked about it.
I love Joyce. She's awesome.
Oh, yes, yes. So those tickets are going to be $5, so very affordable. Bring the entire family, and those will run about 3 to 9 p.m. on the same day, October 19. You can register for the 5K, 2K. You can find us on our website, the Children's Arc Inc.com, and the registration is on there. It's $15 a race bib, or you can buy 5 for your family and get 1 free.
Okay, and I was there last year, and I mean, you turn in any direction. There's always a cajillion things to do. There was popcorn for the kids. Everybody was dressing up in Halloween costumes. There was zombie and ghoul face painting.
Yes.
There was the haunted, which I was too chicken to go in. I should have actually dressed up like a chicken because I didn't want to try out the haunted house. But it was really fun. And everybody, boys and girls, if you're watching this right now, make sure to tell your parents October 19th. But if you are a returnee to the zombie run, make sure you tell everybody this is at least your second time going. But make sure you tell mom and dad this year it's at Leo Palace, not UOG, because that was last year.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so do we have to register? I mean, obviously for the 2K and the 5K if you're going to run and everything, but if you just want to show up and have a good time and
yes. So if you are running, please do register. But if you want to just show up, you're more than welcome to come. And then again, you can go to the haunted house as well as do the rock climbing and the train rides.
Very cool. Okay, now this is a wonderful opportunity, not only to get out and have some fun, make some new friends, as I was saying, but also if you are someone who believes in community service as we do, at the Children's Arc, and like Liz and Gina and their husbands, and you guys all as a family down there at Remax started this. What if people just want to volunteer and they want to say, hey, I'd like to make sure that this event runs smoothly. Can I actually lend, sweat equity?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you very much for bringing that up. So we are actually 100% volunteer run nonprofit, and we are so gracious with all the volunteers that we've had in the past. And during the zombie run, we actually get a lot of high school students from the different schools. Right now, actually, Jodea has just committed 15 students from a club out there, and they're going to be helping us out being zombies along the course. So if anyone is interested, they can contact me, Madeline, 486-7470. The more, the merrier. And it really makes the event something else in a completely different level. So we're super excited.
Now, of course, we know that you guys at the Children's Arc, you guys have community service initiatives, throughout the calendar year, but this one holds a very special place in your heart because, this was one of the first ones. It's something to do with, like sports. It's something that involves a lot of little kids. The parents really get into it. What makes it so fun?
Year 3. Well, I think you said everything, really the inception of this was to have a family fun event put together. And of course, at the same time, our mission to give back to the community. So this is our 3rd annual zombie run, and we have been in inception for a little over 2 years. And to date, we've actually donated a little over $50,000 back to the community, mostly through the medical grants program that we have in place.
All right. Okay. Now, before I let you go, because we were talking about kids, and I know you've got a couple little ones that are waiting for you to pick them up. 3.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So we're gonna let you do that because that's job number 1, right? But
thank you.
What was the best costume last year? Because I saw a bunch of people dress up like Godzilla.
Spider-Man. I mean, the zombies are really great, and shout out to the GCC cosmetology class. They're going to be helping us out this year again. So of course the zombies are really scary and spooky. But I think the inflatables always crack me up. The inflatable costumes. There was a unicorn one. She was actually from our office. And yeah, just the way they end up running in that inflatable huge costume is hilarious. Oh. And again, thanks for bringing that up, Jason. We are having a costume contest. So for the cutest, the scariest, and then the best group or family costume, we will be awarding prizes to those 3 categories.
Very cool. Okay, so this isn't the first time we're talking about Zombie Run. So May, we'd love to have you back on the show after you pick up the kids.
Honey, do you want some milk? Do you ever wonder how your favorite products make their way into your local stores? Most arrive on state-of-the-art Matson vessels that transport containers of food, household items, equipment, and supplies into the islands every week. Because we know that you depend on us, we work closely with our partners to ensure that our shipments arrive on time, all the time, so you can find your favorite products when you need them. We transport the region's most precious cargo that supports successful businesses and promotes a better quality of life for our families. Matson is proud to have been the hometown shipping carrier for Guam, the CNMI, and Micronesia for the past 25 years, and you can count on us to be here for generations to come.
Guam's auto appearance specialist, Elegant Reflections, has been providing the automotive industry with professional detailing and car care products at its highest quality, from complete detailing, full interior detailing, exterior detailing, headlamp restoration, hand washing, seat and carpet shampoo, engine degreasing, undercarriage cleaning, paint sealant, fabric protection, paint oxidation removal, and so much more. Visit us at our new location. Call 646-5555 for an appointment. Elegant Reflections, Guam's auto appearance specialist, over 20 years of experience.
In August, of course, the National Association was in the process. They haven't, I think they're finalizing the settlement, but the objective with that was disclosure and, of course, making sure there's a distinction between a buyer's agent and a seller's agent. And in the process, we've always received compensation as a listing agent, and we've always co-broked that percentage of whatever we've received with a fellow agent who brings in a potential buyer. Now, through the system, we no longer can reflect any compensation in our multiple listing service. In the past, it would show the listing agent was getting X amount, and then a percentage of that will go to the buyer's agent. So in MLS, they prohibited that. So it's no longer showing in our multiple listing service. It just reflects the property and the features about the property. So now, as a listing agent, for example, if I list a property, I would tell Mr. Seller, I'm going to list your property, and our office policy is X amount, and this is our commission that you're paying me to represent you as Mr. Seller. Now, the thing I would do is say, okay, this is the price we're getting. This is the commission we're getting for compensation for my services. However, are you okay if I take part of that amount to pay the buyer's broker? We cannot just automatically do that. There is disclosure, and we need their permission to do that. Now, as a buyer's agent, now we have to get a written authorization to represent a buyer. So you can't just go out and show property. It is a requirement by the National Association and the Guam Association of Realtors that even before you even show a video, I can't even take you, hey, Jason, look at my office. You can't do that. You have to get a written authorization that you are representing a particular buyer.
It's like you guys are becoming agents, like, and we've talked about this before, like a sports agent would represent an athlete, or an entertainment agent would represent like an actor or a director or a writer.
Everything has to be documented.
That's the way the rest of the agency world works. So I mean, it's it's no different in that sense.
The interesting part is that we have the documentation that if you're preparing a listing document and let's say a purchase agreement has increased in volume in terms of paperwork, because it's all about disclosure, disclosure, disclosure. And even in the documentation, there are 2 documents right now that says, this is what a buyer's agent does. This is what a seller agent does. This is what ABCD. And then there's another document that states, I represent you, Mr. Seller. Sign, is that okay? You sign. And if you're the buyer's agent, then they have to agree, okay, you are representing me with the disclosure document. It's a confirmation And on top of that, you still have to sign the buyer's broker representation. So it's all about documentation, and I understand it's about the disclosure. However, I've come across some sellers that say, oh, I don't have to pay the regular commission anymore. I could just pay you. And then I would explain, yes. However, compensation, I would recommend that you consider compensation for the buyer's agent, but we need your permission to do so. Because what that does, if I'm working with you as a buyer, I'm going to say, Mr. Buyer, would you be able to compensate me for my services? And if you tell me, I'm sorry, I can't, then I would have to talk to other agents, other brokers to say, hey, I've got a potential buyer. He's unable to pay my side. Is your seller able to pay a compensation to the buyer to accommodate the buyer's broker? Everything is negotiated. Commissions are negotiated. Nothing is set in stone. So it's a matter of discussion and disclosure and clarity as to who's representing whom and how we work the paperwork and how we communicate with each other. So this process allows agents more communication in terms of transactions as they progress. We cannot talk commission. We can talk compensation and how we work that out between buyer's agents and seller's agents.
And somebody out there is going to figure out a way to streamline this and make it mobile, make it electronic and everything. And then it's not even going to be so much of a big deal, I would assume. I mean, it's growing pains, if anything, right?
I think right now it's just there's so many forms, and it's just getting accustomed to the proper format to utilize. Luckily, the Guam Association of Realtor had a team of professionals that reviewed the forms, and we utilized a format from the California Association, and then we adjusted it to accommodate the Guam law. Of course, we have to follow Guam law and conform to our laws here.
Get ready to soak up the savings this summer at Kmart. Since 1995, Kmart has been the ultimate summer destination for everything you need. From groceries to outdoor living to everyday fashions for the family, we've been there for you. 24 hours a day. Kmart is committed to saving you time and money by offering big international and American brands you know, at prices incredibly low. Whether you're finding the perfect shade for that summer glow in our beauty care aisles, firing up your summer cookouts from top brands like Weber and Kenmore, or gearing up for those outdoor camping and beach adventures, Kmart's your one-stop shop for an active, fun-filled summer. So, join the fun and soak up the savings. You'll find everything you need and more, only at Kmart, the ultimate shopping destination in Guam, where savings, quality, and summer fun meet under one roof. Kmart, your 24-hour superstore.
I'm Tony Atta, and I approve this message.
Tony Atta produced quality legislation as a senator. Laws that prioritize our needs and keep our people safe. His Castle Doctrine legislation is the strongest law of the land, which allows us to protect our loved ones at home. But Tony's been serving our community long before he became a senator. So when people say, I'm glad Tony's back in politics, we say, no, Tony never left leadership. Vote Tony Atta for senator. It's time to bring back the quality.
Order Pizza Hut now and get a free large pizza later. That's a free pizza on your next order. So you can pizza now, then pizza again. Free pizza means your next dinner is covered. Your future self will thank you. Get it while it's hot. Only at Pizza Hut.
Weekly Renewal is brought to you by Calvo Select Care.
Half a day, I'm Clara Calvo bringing you Weekly Renewal. Today I am here with Marie Verata Halloran, who has been Rainbows for All Children. Can you share with us, earlier you're talking about the history of suicide prevention and how that came together with Rainbow for All Children.
Okay, so in the beginning I was trained to be a Rainbows director, and I went on a training to do that. And when I came back, I started to do some training so that we can have volunteers. And then a lot of our children have suffered from a loss from suicide. And at that time, there was no program on KUAM on suicide. So for that reason, I had happy she came, and was, I think, September 8th, and what she was sharing was, you know, Ash would have been 18 years old now. He would be driving, he would be going out, but she was really directly talking to the kids. Yeah. We also had one Ada, who was sharing with the kids, and the message is there's always hope out there.
If I want to get involved, be trained, how do we go about this?
I think that the most important element of helping out is learning how to listen. Jesse, I hear that you're not feeling well and you're depressed. Can you tell me? I'm trying to extract information from you rather than me asking you why.
Right.
Because when you ask why, it's a defense, right? It's intimidating. They check, how am I doing this? But then if you just add on to what we say, it is really listening. Right.
So thank you so much for doing that. Is there anything before we close you'd like to share?
I believe in how to listen, you know. And listening is a skill. Because, you know, we are excited ourselves and we kind of interrupt. I'll be willing to communicate how to heal. I mean, how to listen to someone. I think that is one virtue that we need to be able to accomplish.
Effective listening.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Oh, you're welcome.
And thank you all. I will see you next time on your weekly renewal.
Weekly Renewal is brought to you by Calvo Select Care.
Hey, Devontae.
Let me get a Cantina chicken burrito in a bowl with that seasoned, slow-roasted chicken I like, please.
You have a golf course in your house?
I got a Taco Bell in my house, bro.
Where did it go? Where did it go? Oh, there it is.
Cheaters don't get chicken. Huh? Cheaters get no chicken.
I won't give him any.
In times of uncertainty, trust is what leads the way. The Medical City, your trusted partner in health.
Find a plan that goes with your flow. Get unlimited local talk, text, and data at the most affordable rate with Unlimited Flow Postpaid.
Health Check is brought to you locally by Island Cancer Center.
1, 2, 1, 2.
Sometimes a jam session is just what the doctor ordered.
It really just helps me relax.
Emma Zonazer is a little kid with a lot going on. She was diagnosed with neuroblastoma, a common type of pediatric cancer, in February of 2020. Now, just 10 years old, music therapy, especially this kind, is helping her find something else to focus on.
What do you like about improvising?
No rules.
No rules.
We know that it can certainly help with coping.
Karen Popkin is a music therapist with MSK Kids. At the New York City Hospital, she and other music therapists mix in a dose of melody to the medicine for pediatric patients.
Being able to be creative, to make your sound in the world, is one way to stay true to who